Okay, sorry about getting cut off. I had to erase the last few videos that I made. Not off of YouTube, but off of my memory storage. Alright, well, there you see the mouse walking up. He's saying, "Where is she? Rita." And then there in the background is the banana peel. Now, notice the two columns right here. One is going to be on the left side of the screen as we're looking at it. That's the red. The other's on the right side of the screen as we're looking at it. That's the green. But the green is actually on the left side looking out, and the red is actually on the right side looking out, and that's the mirror. And I have unwittingly discovered a very, there's just no way to describe, a very sinister process of astrally projecting both hemispheres of brain into the dark side. You know, the right hemisphere of the consciousness into the left hemisphere of the material constraint. And they've been made to think that they were doing the other thing and becoming more divine, but instead they've become more materially corrupted and more spiritually blind. And anyway, I could expound on it much better now that I understand that's the ultimate being of that process by design, at least the design of this flip of the switch, this preparatory deception of the flip-flop of the mirror in their doctrine, that these two towers begin to portray. You know what I mean? You know, you think you're looking at a couple of eyes, but in reality, they flip the switch on you to where you become the eyes that you're looking at. And then, as I said, the projection takes place with the agenda in shifting from one side that's damaged as they perceive to the other, in which I told you that ultimately rests on their neglect of the spiritual truth, in which now the right hemisphere of the brain has been rejected. And I said that's where your creativity is, that's where your spiritual nature is realized as it interacts with the material world around you. And then, of course, this is more or less connected to the left hand of the individual, and then the right-handed individual is connected to the left hemisphere of the brain, which is the material side, which is all about the mathematics, it's all about science, but yet in a linear fashion, because it's lost the relativity of the spirit, which gives us the 3D, 5D perceived perception of time-space reality within the existential potentials of the 6D, which could then be qualified by the realization of the quality of the thing over the quantity of the thing, which is intrinsically locked into the material constraint portion of the brain. And I probably should do a little bit more on the mirror. I probably left that video a little bit short, but nonetheless, there's your columns. If you go to Guardian of Guhu with the owls, split faction, as I said, the whole divergency, the synthesis, really one character you're looking at divided, which now represents the hemisphere of the brain. And then now, as I said, the merger is the actual fake of the funk to everybody, races included, highest degrees, everyone straight from the spirit sophistry itself, to shift everybody entirely to the material side, so they'll be blinded spiritually and won't recognize him as the devil that he is. And that's all in their process. That's all in their doctrine. That's all in their towers. That's all in their pillars. That's all in their eyes. That's all in this darkening. That's all in this color code. It is astrally projecting your consciousness to the left hemisphere of the brain, as I said in that series, but I understand it a lot better now. I understand it. It's what Jesus Christ means when he said the blind, leading the blind, both going to fall in the pit. Incredible. Materially blind and spiritually blind. You know? Incredible. Wow. Because the flesh isn't a sin. The flesh isn't evil. The flesh is a vehicle that supports your spiritual experience in this world as it builds enough momentum and velocity to achieve dominance over the material constraints. That's basically what you would be hoping to ponder a little bit more in your philosophy. At least your philosophy of self and life, at least the eternal acquisition of it through Jesus Christ and his teaching and what he can reveal with no books, with no teacher other than the Spirit of Truth that will deal with you on the most simplest of elemental fashions of moral experience with your own relative impression in time-space. Not necessarily you being impressed by the time-space force itself, but now you having the freedom of will to leave your mark of impression, but not of a beast, but that of a man that knows the truth, of the perfected one, the one that has given us the freedom to rise above that nature and be more like him. So if we look here at the banana peel, I want you to see the individual is walking up to it. And go ahead and read the captions down below. We've got these individuals here. These are the two. And I'm going to have to rewind it again so you can see it a little better. But look how they're reacting around the banana peel. And I'm going to let you see what they say. I'm holding the phone in one hand and about to work the remote control with the other. Okay. Now you would have to watch the movie Flushed Away, but as I said, it's the same scenario. It's the same drama. It's the same play. It's a reenactment of an agenda that's being flaunted right before the eyes of the masses, and then even those that they're seeking to deceive of their own. As Jesus Christ said, their kingdom is divided, it's not going to stand. And this is where we're going to see the connection towards not just the Africans that are being, idly led into destruction by who they're looking up to for this knowledge, but it's also going to be symbolized with these two characters here, which will further symbolize an underwater refuge and an outer space refuge. And now watch them as they come up around this banana. She says target 12 o'clock, and that symbolically is the banana peel, which I told you represents the peanut butter jelly time scenario with the tribe of Benjamin. Now, of course, the target's supposed to be him, but what you're going to see is that's the symbolism that's right there as they say it, the banana peel, and you know who they are trying to seek to get to slip on it. Now, as you see now, there is the quintessential banana peel we've been seeing so much about that's connected to that yellow color. And they are coming up to it incredibly wary. Look at the guy down below. He's saying, no way, bro. Careful, Whitey. That's a banana skin. You hear that? That's a banana skin that's intrinsically related to the sacrifice coming up from Isaiah 34, Venus, Ishtar, which we see now, Benjamin, symbolically, at least to one magnitude of this agenda is being selected as a specimen being offered so that this world is going to somehow bloom again into some sort of special golden age, which is now connected not only to the banana but also to the corn, and then the very gold that enslaved the ancient Olmecs in the first place and put them into this life of servitude by design of this genetic engineering that is connected to the sciences of Inky. That's a banana peel. Very careful. Now, my point here to be taken very seriously is it is being shown that they know about the danger of the banana peel. You see that? They know that. They've been taught. They've been taught to be weary of that symbol and everything that's associated, that you see them now putting on the Benjamites with the yellow color that they're seeking to change right now. Watch what happens to guarantee what I'm telling you is the truth. Look what it says on the sign as they come up looking like vegetables. Now, vegetable is somebody that's brain dead. All right, now as I said, they've already given the configuration for the Benjamites as being associated with retardation through the manipulation of the simians. And as I said, that would be absolutely incorrect. Genetically, it is not true. But as I said, the mistranslation as they see back into history and then misunderstanding the admixture of the genetic codes and then the timings in which it takes place has caused them to err greatly in their understanding here. So the individuals here do not have African American voices. They have British accents. And as you see, the other individual was called Whitey, which would establish these as Caucasians now that are being shown in a very subtle way for them being vegetables and brain deads in their own right. And then now look what it says below. As I said, the color with the banana peel in this harvest is associated with corn. And then I told you those that are connected with the corn are not being connected in the right way with the refuge. And I said it's more comparative to the children of the corn. As you see these individuals being depicted as vegetables, in essence, like they're brain dead, even in the way that they react. And as I said, the corn is the harvest, even in connection with those that are supposed to achieve the third eye, which you see these individuals, by their doctrine, don't qualify. Spirit speaking to you guys. Say me. So there's the sweet corn. It says hardly used. Hardly used. Wow. So the corn connection with the harvest, and I said the corn is the wheat, Matthew chapter 13. Then it connects back to the Venus. Then it connects back to everything that we saw with Ezekiel chapter 17, cropping off those young twigs, in which you see these individuals are not being connected with the correct crop, but they are being connected to a vegetable crop that is being paired with the symbolism of them being brain dead. And then to further guarantee that I'm telling you guys the truth, just keep watching. I'm going to have to fast forward it, and I'm going to try to make this video very short. As I said, this is not just singling out the Africans from their doctrine as this agenda that's connected to this sacrifice with Revelation chapter 13, verse 13, fire from the sky. Revelation chapter 12, a woman being cited as Israel with a child being lifted up and her feet are on the moon. Constellational depiction symbolism is that of Virgo, aka connection 69 Venus Ishtar. This is going to be profound, folks, what you see next. Just have a little bit of patience. Anybody that can't understand this, you need to watch Scootsie'S Big Double Day with Jackie Moon, and then go back through the playlist, anything that you see connected to the moon, and Israel or Ishtar, and the Bible and serpents. Watch those to understand what's going on. This is what I want you to see here. I'm going to rewind it a little further. This will reveal, my friends, that the agenda is broad for the destruction of many of their own, not just these initiated Africans. And when I say initiated Africans, I mean no disrespect to anybody by calling anybody any racial stereotype name that you're uncomfortable with, by even citing you as a color. That's not my it's not my wish. My wish is just hopefully that you'll see the truth of the things that I'm trying to do my best to show you, so that you can make your decisions to prepare as best you can, and that you can prepare your heart, some of you, to meet your maker, because it's coming. It's coming. It's ultimately coming for all of us. But as I say, these are very perilous times. This guy immediately says, where are these idiots? The idiots that he's talking about are the two guys that were just dodging that banana peel. Okay? They've been taught about the banana peel, and they're taught to dodge it. But what I want you to see here is that, and I don't know if it's the actual banana peel itself. It might be just the relativity of the nature of that a part of agenda connected to somebody else that's getting destroyed. And then they know that. But they might not be saying, hey, we've given them the hint of the banana peel, because they are not literally those rats on the screen. Those are just characters that they're portraying. You get me? So those individuals might not necessarily know the fullness of the banana peel, but they're portraying them that they know the agenda that they might be trying to do to another race that is connected to that banana peel. Right? So there he says, where are the idiots? And that's those two rats that, as I said, were being shown of being weary of the banana peel. And then now, this is some kingpin frog. It's so hard to get good help these days. This is where I said they're having to use all these undesirables to get their great labor done. He said, that's right, come on out, my lovelies. He's got another family, is the point to be taken here. And as we move forward, it's not those idiots that he was just talking about. It's this new brood coming up. Poor daddy is surrounded by filthy rats. Remember the symbolism with the banana peel. Remember how dangerous that symbol is to the application to everything that we have seen. And then how they made those rats respond to it. And now look what he's saying about those very rats that are working for him. Poor daddy's surrounded by filthy rats. Watch what happens, guys. You're going to be blown away. And I'm telling you, this is them symbolizing even yourselves. He's been in this joyless, sunless world. We know what sun they're talking about. But don't worry, little men. Remember the little green men on the moon? Okay. Remember the little green men on the moon that got all that high occultic knowledge, that are now connected to the leopard king, that are connected to the leopard priest of ancient Egypt and Mesoamerica, that are intrinsically related to sacrifice, that are connected to blemishes, that are now connected to the biblical saying, can the leopard change his spots? Now, as I said, Daddy will get rid of them all. He will. Who's he going to get rid of? Daddy's going to get rid of them all. Boom. Now notice, don't worry, little men. And I told you the little green men on the moon, guys. And as I said, that connects to Osiris, Orion, further connected to the green man, all correctly translated from Ezekiel 17. And then this would fulfill further the sheer magnitude of the sight that I've been given. Back to the great apes, the simians, and then the retardation, as I said, with Scootsie Double Day. I think we had an audio outage. This banana goes back to the simians, the great apes, that are connected to a genetic manipulation in the past, that is connected with the Olmecs, that is being misapplied to the Benjamites, the Nubians, the Cushites. Daddy will get rid of them all, not just those that are connected to the banana, as I said, Benjamin now. Peanut Butter Jelly Time, Brian in the banana suit, Family Guy. The Nana suit, the Inanna suit, being marked for sacrifice. So, as I said, this now refers more those that think they're closer to the inside. Remember, the banana peel was separate, and then here comes the next faction that thinks it's closer to the inside, and that would be the majority of these Caucasians working for them. Material Babylon. They'll all be deady wetty. And if this guy had more fingers, that would be the 666 sign. I'm not kidding here. And I think that you guys know that. And you can see right when these guys walk in that I've been telling you the truth as best as I can see it. And look what you have now. He says all of this before these guys walk in, calling them idiots, the whole nine, the connection with the little green men, everything that you understand now with the banana and the symbolism of the moon, and then now what you've been taught as a child in connection to stories and cartoons with little green men on the moon. And then you know that the Spirit is working for your benefit to get you guys to understand. Now the two individuals that know about not slipping on the banana peel now come in symbolically showing what? One looks like he's in an astronaut's suit, and then the other looks like he's ready to go underwater. He's got the snorkel on, and he's got the mask, and then this guy here has got the quintessential astronaut helmet that's even connected to the symbolism of space travel. So as you could put the pieces together, that even both portions of this group's people, those that are being sent below in some sort of refuge that quite possibly might be connected to some high-tech type of submarine, and it ain't looking good for you. And then those that are going up to space, it ain't looking good for you, because this Pandora's box thing is highly relative. And to take something out, you've got to replace it with something else. And as you can see, they're setting that up. At least what they think within their misconstrued doctrine, but that's what keeps this ruthless cycle going. And Jesus Christ taught them all how to break that cycle, and they refused. So if we were to just simply, and I'll do my best to hold it, I'm going to rewind it so you can see it play through. I can't play the volume because it has musical copyrights. It's calling these guys idiots. He's got a whole nother special family in a secret place that he's loving up to, that he's calling little men, and you can put it together, they're little green men. That's who they're trying to free in essence off that moon location. And as I said, it links up to Ezekiel 17. And then, of course, he seeks to hide it and keep it from them. There it is, guys. And then that, oh man, we'll just have to save it for another video.